Hey YouTube, I don't even know what to say about this. When My Little Pony was really, really big, there was hate and love and all kinds of things going on around it, and I just didn't have time to get involved. Although I was always a little curious to see what I would actually legitimately think about it. Don't give me that weird look, okay? You gotta understand. My first anime was Sailor Moon. Nobody watched Powerpuff Girls like I did. I read those weird enchanted princess book things. Okay, look, the point I'm trying to make is I've always wanted to try to watch My Little Pony, and I'm going to start doing it now. I like to keep you guys updated on whatever nerdy thing I'm currently doing because if I do something nerdy and I don't make videos about it, then it means I'm not making content. So my original thought was, okay, I'll watch through an entire season and then I'll do a review of the season and then move on to the next season. But recently I watched the Nostalgia Critics Airbender vlogs and I thought to myself, wow, that would actually be a much more interesting way of looking at this. So, every day starting today, I am going to watch one episode of MLP and give you my thoughts. Those of you that are worried that this is going to affect my other content, don't worry about it. Friday, I should have a new episode of 1 week later up, and I should continue the Weiss videos as per usual. This is just going to be a fun little side project I'm doing. I'm going to say right off the bat that these will probably be the most casual videos I've ever made because I'm not really going to imply very many editing tricks or anything like that. I also don't really have a script to follow other than a few notes I jotted down. And I'm not doing very many takes. This should probably take me less than 30 minutes to make. Disclaimer. Kudos, you guys can read. Well, that's about 2 minutes of stalling, so I guess I should move on to my thoughts. I do think the artwork is genuinely really good. The movement looks really natural, and facial expressions in particular are really polished and look really nice. The only small gripe I have about the artwork is they use a technique called color pop a lot. Color pop is a technique where you darken all of the colors used in the backgrounds and everything other than the main characters to make sure that you don't lose focus of the main characters in conversation. I totally understand why they do it. It's because the show's for younger kids, and in huge conversations they could get lost, and it's so they can focus on their favorite characters, yada yada, so on and so forth. It's just personally, I find it a little bit distracting. It makes it look more like a stage play than an actual world. It doesn't really look like the characters in the backgrounds are at one with each other. It looks like they're two different planes, and that's just weird. To me, anyway. It could also be because I come from anime, and in anime they don't use color pop. So, minor gripe, it's not that bad. The voice acting, what can I say about the voice acting that hasn't been said before? The voice acting is phenomenal. I seriously don't have any gripes with any of the characters. They all sound very natural, very fluid, and the voice actresses sound like they're having a lot of fun with their roles. It's definitely not phoned in like a lot of characters in kid shows, and I understand why some people could fall in love with the characters. The one character I thought I'd really like going into this was Twilight, but I gotta be honest, she's kind of a jerk. Yeah, ha ha! It's real funny, Twilight. It's hilarious when you don't have to pay for any of the damages. If I were absolutely forced to pick out a favorite character already, then it would probably have to be Fluttershy. I was pretty resistant to the charms of the other five, but I have to admit, Fluttershy is pretty adorable. In due time, she might just melt this cold, cynical heart of mine. The last thing I can really comment on is the writing. The writing is a huge disappointment. Like, I know it's just a kid's show, but the writing is still pretty awful. And Bronies hold up the writing as one of the show's pinnacles, which is absolutely confounding me right now. When the characters are talking about plot points, they talk about them in really weird, unnatural ways, putting extra emphasis on words that are important to the story. It's really hard to explain, but it's kind of like watching Dora the Explorer when she's pointing out that she has to go somewhere and she talks really normal like this, but then points out the location that she has to go in extra loud words to make sure that the main point is heard above the other words in the sentence. Twilight is especially guilty of this. She'll be like, we have to make sure that Princess Celestia knows about Nightmare Moon. It's kind of a cheesy tactic to make sure that the plot gets nailed into younger viewers' heads, but even then, it's kind of a strange effect.
Plot setup's not even really that interesting, even by kid show standards. Keep in mind though, this is all solely based on the first episode. I could completely change my mind later. Next episode could feel like it was written by Shakespeare himself, I don't know. Anyways, I think that's about all I got for today. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. I really hope this new segment doesn't bother a bunch of my subscribers. If you're new to the channel and you happen to like this video, then go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. It's free, easy, and super helpful. If you're an MLP fan or somebody who's been wanting to get into My Little Pony, then go ahead and leave me a comment below telling me what you thought. Last but not least, subscribe to stay up to date on the latest Kudou news. Bye!